more than a healing factor, you know. Get ready to check out my amazing tracking ability. I once wandered the sewers under the Hellfire Club's New York building for hours. This'll be a piece of cake. Really curious to see what the Red Skull's so interested in down there. I gotta say, if this whole chase turns out to be for buried gold, I'm gonna be a little disappointed. You ever hear the expression transia is for lovers?
No.
Me neither. There's a reason for that.
According to the map, the way into these tunnels is in a ravine at the base of the mountain. We can bring you right up to the entrance.
Beautiful. I can take it from there.
I'll have you know I'm indulging your desire to follow this map. Don't say I never gave you anything.
After this, I won't even expect a card from you on my birthday.
How can this be? It seems we have been walking in circles for hours.
It's been 20 minutes. Relax. We're close.
You said that after your last sniff.
And I was right. If this is supposed to be an ambush, I've seen better.
Ambush. This is a slaughter.
No kidding. They were trying to get inside that vault. I don't believe in coincidences. Which means...
Project Gutermortar.
I'd bet my life on it.
So did they.
Guess Hydra just dropped a rung or two on the bad guy food chain.
Maybe so. Still, this Lilin feels different somehow. Feral.
You sniff that out?
We can debate the hows and whys later. Get that vault open before more of these things show up.
Too late for that.
You're right about that thing. It smells like it died, then crawled through hot garbage.
That is one way of describing it.
I'd be more concerned with how it fights, not how it smells.
Easy for you to say. It's not breathing down your neck.
You were too weak for this fight.
Should get the blood pumping.
Vampires are not the only ones.
that kind of Hydra regalia since the war.
Old Johan was probably hoping to hide out here if things went south. I guess he didn't make it.
We have our hands full as it is without having to worry about Red Skull, too.
Never seen that before.
Whatever gets the job done.
Your mother abandoned you. Now that was something.
See a pattern here?
Hydra had that place sealed up tight. Where are those things coming from?
The way they move. These Lilin may have come from beyond our world. Walls are no obstacle to them.
Just when I thought I had smelled it all.
Feel my call.
Come get it. Now for something real special. Just what I need. should have been through by now. These things aren't that tough.
You were the man with the claws. Do something about it.
They're mine.
Nice move, bub.
I think you got him. Don't blink.
I am impressed.
Maybe you can get that one.
Coming at me now.
What are you waiting for?
You asked. Ought to make things interesting. Sounds to me like they just missed their mama.
Once again, Lilith's servants fall. Some for the rest of us.
Anyone that touches me is going down. That's a neat trick.
Together, we are unstoppable.
Time to see if Red Skull really did hide his ultimate weapon here.
Found your god killer.
An old Enigma lock. Hang on. I think I might be able to decipher the sequence.
Got your decoder ring right here.
Great. Dollars to donuts, that alarm still leads somewhere.
Let's not stick around to find out. The hell you waiting for, kid? This way.
Crossbones command ship.
You gotta be kidding me. Not what I'm talking about. Better brace yourself.
This is why we enter the code.
That's a real mean guard dog they got for this place.
You need to look for a way out. You can't beat him in a straight fight.
We'll either figure something out or die trying.
You sure know how to rally the troops, Logan.
Should do the trick. About time.
They cannot possibly match your strength.
Give me a hand.
That was even better than I expected. Let's all move like that one.
Nothing of it.
This is a dangerous game of cat and mouse.
Not so enjoyable when you are the prey, is it, Hunter?
At least we are still in the hunt. You have already been consumed. This shall be of great help. Return to your mother. The light is on our side. I feel more like myself every day.
You had your chance to join her. No more!
Still coming for me.
Do you see the glow of Wondagore?
Always some doomsday prophecy or ancient evil. It almost makes me miss Magneto. Want it done right, gotta do it yourself.
wish I could tell you we had some kind of air support or evac on the way.
That would be too easy.
Mother protects me.
Now, enjoy. You don't have to show off for me, Blake.
You're making a mistake.
Your fate is sealed.
I won't forget this! Look to the sky!
I'm gonna tear you a new one for that. Running out of options here.
And space.
One chance, Hunter. Return with me to Mother, and I will spare what remains of your friends.
Man, I miss the torn purple pants days.
It may be our only chance.
That ain't a chance, kid. It's a monster. So come on, ugly. Let's finish this.
Finish this, Logan. Yes, I will!
Hunter, come to the forge when you can. It's urgent.
Good girl, Charlie.
Okay, cut the bull, Stark. I know you got some kind of Hulkbuster up your sleeve. Let's have it.
Well, as a matter of fact, I do have some Hulkbuster armor back in one of my warehouses, but it's only a stopgap, not a solution. Especially with the Hulk in his current state.
So a smart guy like you never bothered to come up with a fail-safe in case the green chunk ever went psycho?
We found the most effective way to control Hulk was Banner himself. There is no better failsafe.
And now that Banner's gone screwy, nothing? No plan for when things got really tough?
There are always plans, Logan. Sending him off-world, perhaps?
Outer space? That's really the best you could come up with?
I don't see you coming up with anything better.
I'm raising the warning now. When the time comes and we don't have an easy solution, I'm ready to take the hard path, and you'd better be prepared to follow me. You're getting good enough. I might let you call me Logan. I ain't much of a conversationalist. More of a...
The more we work together, the more I'm impressed. And I'm hard to impress. Listen, if you want, you can call me Eric. But that's between us. I better not hear Stark throwing.
Man, I just wish I could have brought my brother Gabe along. He'd love this place.
I never expected the Red Skull would trouble me again. Yet here we are.
When I woke up this morning, the Red Skull was the furthest thing from my mind. Yet now it seems he's a key player, even from beyond the grave.
In my experience, the grave is but a way station, not a destination.
Every time I think I've got my mind wrapped around this conflict, I get thrown a curveball.
The Red Skull was your sworn enemy, no? Surely you have some sense of what to expect from him.
I fought the Red Skull countless times, and he never failed to surprise me. The only thing I could count on was his unbridled lust for power.
Which would explain why he had a blade called God Killer.
Good point. I guess I shouldn't be so shocked to find him tangled up in all this.
Earlier, you mentioned the Red Skull was drawn to the occult.
Like a fly to a rotting carcass. How much do you know about World War II?
I did not realize there was a World War I.
I'll just sum it up. Red Skull was a man whose ambition knew no limits. And when our world didn't give him enough, he looked beyond it for even more power.
A very dangerous man indeed.
And we're all safer that he's no longer among the living.
I think the world is safer because you are here protecting it, not because this Red Skull is gone.
I'm just one man, Hunter. It's all of us together that keeps the world safe. That includes you, Tony, Caretaker. Even the ghosts around here do their part.
I wonder how the Red Skull came to share my mother's obsession with Chthon anyway.
Oh, I'm sure he tried to find your mother to help him. All part of his Project Gutmortar.
My mother never would have allowed him to share her power.
Well, I don't think he got that blade just to put it under glass, if you know what I mean.
He planned to use it all right.
Now we just need to figure out why Crossbones wanted me to have it. Whatever the Red Skull wanted with that weapon, it wasn't good. You understand the loss that comes with waking up in a different century. It must be nice to have Caretaker to connect you with your past.
What's troubling you, Sarah?
The hilt of the God Killer. It looks familiar.
What do you mean?
I don't know how to say this, but it looks like it's made of the same material as Hunter's collar.
The same material? Sarah, the collar we created is made of orichalcum, the metal of Atlantis.
I know. It sounds crazy.
Have Strange examine the thing. Because if it is, Sarah...
I know, Agatha. I'll see what I can do.
Hunter, hello. Hunter?
Before you turn in for the night, I think we should discuss the God Killer.
What is this about the God Killer?
The hilt. It looks a lot like the metal your collar is forged from.
Orichalcum. How can that be?
I'm not sure it is. It's just a hunch. Strange should examine it, see if my hunch is right. Because if it is, the God Killer might be our best shot at taking my sister's life, putting an end to all this madness.
Is that not what we all want? An end to this?
There's only 2.5 members of the Blood left in all creation, Hunter. When we defeat her, my only sister will be dead, and our kind will be nearly extinct.
I know this is hard, Sarah. But life as we know it will become extinct if we do not take hers.
I'm just sorry that the burden keeps falling to you. You must kill your own mother again. That must be incredibly difficult for you.
It is just my destiny.
A tragic destiny.
Tragic for me, but a happily ever after scenario for everyone else. And that is all that matters.
I fear sometimes I raised you to be too self-sacrificing.
You raised me to fight for the greater good.
Perhaps we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves too much. We're not even sure the handle of that blade is made of orichalcum.
Strange will find out.
Make sure he does. I remember when I used to go out on these missions myself. At least I can always rely on you to get the job done.
Hello.
You need to go easier on Sarah, kid.
What brought that up?
I've seen how you are together. You're always circling each other, waiting for the other one to pounce.
I do not want to fight her, but she does not give me a choice in the matter.
Well, yeah, you ran into her the day after you died. For her, you were gone for centuries. I don't think you understand how much your death affected her, and neither of you get how much your resurrection brought it all back. When you run into someone you thought was gone for years, learning otherwise can produce some intense feelings.
Where is this coming from, Logan? This is not entirely about Sarah.
I've lived way too long. For nearly a century, Victor Creed, Sabretooth, has been a bitter enemy. But I've lost count of the times we've fought side by side. I'm not asking you to forget your history, but it doesn't always need to be a fight to the death. Never been in any situation I couldn't claw myself out of. Awesome. Thanks, Hunter.
What's up, Big H?
Thank you for coming, Hunter. I need to talk to you about the artifact from the Red Skull's vault. The occult emanations coming from this god killer are unlike anything I have ever encountered.
When I gripped it, I saw a face. The face of Cthulhu.
Yes, I suspected as much. The darkness I sense here is beyond the realm of mortals. It's no surprise Red Skull was seeking that level of power. This is more than just an artifact. But whatever it is could represent a change in the direction of our battle against Lilith.
You are the only person here who can figure out what it is. And if you cannot, then maybe it is best we just ignore it.
I wish ignoring it was an option. I wouldn't feel so uneasy in its presence that way.
You are uneasy because you understand what it could be.
I appreciate your vote of confidence in me, Hunter. Some part of me feels that everything in my life has been leading up to a moment such as this. And with your continued support, I feel that I won't let the group down. I think the safest option is to keep it here in the Forge for a bit longer, at least until I've had a chance to study it more. I don't think anyone should handle it until we know what it is for sure.
Very well. And how long do you think that will take?
Well, I think the world will be ending soon, so hopefully before that. I need to consult my grimoires. Check back with me when you can. I wouldn't have guessed we'd become such fast friends, Hunter, but I welcome your company.
Quite a view out here, Logan.
You know, I didn't always go by Logan. Or Wolverine, for that matter. Once upon a time, they used to call me Weapon X. Not exactly warm and cuddly, eh?
Tough. Deadly. It suits you.
Maybe so. But sometimes, I wonder how things would have turned out for me if I'd been given a different name. You know, something softer like Bob or Moonchild. You ever think how your whole destiny got laid out the minute they named you Hunter?
Hunter is what they call me, and that is what I am proud to be.
Good on you then. You're sure doing a lot of hunting these days. I think you got lucky with somebody like Caretaker watching out for you.
I suppose her name is fitting, then.
I'd have killed to have someone like Caretaker in my life. One way or another, I've lost everybody I ever cared about.
That must have been hard on you.
For a while, yeah. But lately, I've been feeling like I'm getting my edge back. Like when I was younger.
Oh? What changed?
Could be a lot of things. Maybe I've been eating better. Maybe it's some kind of weirdo Abbey magic at work. Or maybe it's the fact that I somehow managed to make a new friend.
I am heartened to hear you feel like you are getting your edge back, Logan.
Just keep pointing me at the bad guys, and we'll get along great. I ain't had a real teammate I could count on since I took a break from the X-Men.
How is it?
It's kinda nice.
Who is a good girl? It is my Charlie girl.
Hey, Hunter, care to join our little Hulk survivors support group? I've squared off against Hulk a lot of times over the years. None of them were pretty.
Dr. Banner used to be the upside to the Hulk.
They're both a complicated guy. Guys, whatever. Hulk messed me up a bunch of times, but...
But a demon queen twisting Dr. Banner's genius, loosening his darkest impulses, and enabling him to perform torturous experiments. That's something none of us have seen. Except me.
It's always the science-y quiet ones that inflict the most damage.
I'll drink to that. As we say in Transia, to our shared pain. Join us, Hunter. We're sharing incredibly painful Hulk stories. After seeing Banner's soul twisted under Lilith's control, I see why Bruce used to doubt himself so much. He mistrusts the green brute because deep inside, Banner doesn't trust himself. Another thing he and I have in common.
There is still hope for Banner.
Yes, there is always hope. But do you think it's possible I'll ever see Bruce Banner in the same way ever again?
You know that was not Banner, right? Same as it was not you, Wanda Maximoff, who devastated the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Point taken, Hunter. I owe Bruce the same kindness I've been shown here at the Abbey. I do believe I can forgive him. Forgetting, however.
You're not alone, Wanda. When the time comes, we will face your demons. Our demons. Together.
Thank you, Hunter. That gives me some strength. You should ask Wolverine about his Hulk experiences.
Did I ever tell you about the time Hulk tore me in half?
This sounds like a story I cannot pass up.
I was in the path of a Category 5 Hulk smash storm. Big Green pulled me apart like it was wing night at his favorite pub, and I was the chicken.
Well, that sounds absolutely horrible.
Then Hulk threw my legs 4 miles away from the rest of me.
What?
Up a snow-covered mountain. Had to claw my way to him.
How did you survive?
That lovely, forceful bisection put my healing factor to the test. Had to find my legs by their scent. My scent, if you catch my drift.
As long as Lilith controls the Hulk, we are at a disadvantage.
Yep, and we're sorely lacking in the Hulk killer department.
From what I have seen, it is going to be an all-hands situation.
We can call ourselves the Hulk Smashers.
Obviously, you will take the lead.
Because of my natural leadership ability and excellent motivational skills?
Yes. What you said. All of those things, absolutely. And also the healing factor.
Great. The classic throw Logan at the Hulk plan. Well, no matter what, we are sorely lacking in the Hulk killer department. Anytime someone wants my opinion, it means we're really screwed.
Remind me not to brainstorm with you anymore.
Makes sense. I'm more of a claws out kind of guy. Anyway, glad you enjoyed our little Hulk survivors group. We'll meet again if we survive him next time. Hulk Survival Supporters Group. We have coffee and stories.
Wow, the books in this place are something else. Did you know that there is an entire section about spiders and the occult?
Did you find anything interesting?
You bet. My top two have to be a scroll about a fire-breathing spider Cerberus, and a nice haiku about a furry spider spirit that eats people's toenails.
Thanks. Now I know to never read those.
Actually, all this reading got me thinking, and there is something I wanted to run by you. With my spider roots, and the spiders being so occult adjacent, apparently, who knew, I can maybe be a good fit for the Midnight Suns. I'm not asking you to pull any strings for me or anything like that. I just want your honest opinion as a friend. Do you think I'd make a good candidate?
For now, you should focus on being the best you can be in every situation. And when this is all over, we can talk about your future.
Of course, of course. Either way, I would like a chance to prove myself first. Don't want anyone to say that you're giving me any special treatment.
Well, I am sure you can figure out how to make that happen.
One last question.
Yes?
If I read these books here, I'm not summoning any demons or evil spirits, right?
Have you been reading them aloud?
No?
Do not open your door to any knock that sounds unnatural or inhuman, and you should be fine.
No inhuman knocks. Got it.
Hey, can I ask a favor? Thanks, Hunter. There's my hunt.
What if she's not ready? We ask for too much of her sometimes.
I don't want to make her do anything she's not ready for either. But we all know she's the only one who can face him.
Is there anyone else here who has the power to do it? Nico, you're a badass blood witch. What about you?
I might not be packing as much firepower in the magic department as we're gonna need. Hate to say it, but she is more powerful than me. Like, way more powerful. Plus, she knows what we're dealing with firsthand. It's gotta be her.
What if she doesn't want to? We shouldn't make her.
Then one of us needs to convince her.
I'll speak to her. When the time is right.
If you think she's up to it.
We will see.
So, is it settled? Meeting over?
Yes, Robbie, you're excused. You can go back to playing video games.
Rad! Because I'm about this close to finally leveling up.
Bet you cannot do it before Chthon eats your controller.
Oh, you know what, Magic? You're on. Man, I think they got the hell right on one of those traffic cams.
Well, crap.
I've missed being on the right side of the Midnight Suns. Привет, Hunter. Hunter? You really aren't what I expected.
How so?
Agatha and Caretaker told so many stories. The idea of you was nearly beyond imagining, but the actual you, rather normal.
Everyone tells me that. I think they oversold the memory of me.
If so, it wasn't by much. It shouldn't be this easy. I always pictured a gulf between us.
The other Midnight Suns only had good things to say about you. I looked forward to meeting you.
I'm sorry it was under such negative circumstances.
The real you. I do not hold Lilith's control against you. You should not hold it against yourself either.
This is nice. It feels better than I deserve.
No. It is exactly what you deserve.
And that is...
A chance.
One of my favorite activities.
What are you doing out here, Wanda?
Was feeling nostalgic and wanted to visit some old haunts. This is where it all started, you know. Where Agatha decided to take me under her wing and teach me all the magic tricks I wasn't supposed to know.
I had a similar experience.
You did?
Yes. This is where Agatha showed me how to use the word of power.
When did she do that?
When her spirit first made herself known to me.
Makes sense. She always believed in you, you know. Talked about you all the time. There was a lot of pressure to live up to your legend.
Wanda, what was Agatha teaching you exactly?
I'm not so sure you want to know, or I want to tell you.
There is no reason to be scared of telling me, Wanda. I am on your side.
Okay, here it goes. Agatha thought I could prevent the Midnight Sun. Prevent the prophecy.
She said that?
I think she was training me to be you.
Wait. Do you mean to say she was training you to be the hunter? To be me?
Basically, yes.
I am sorry the weight of stopping the Midnight Sun was put on your shoulders. You did not deserve that.
And I couldn't handle it either. Luckily for me, and the world, my girl Nico managed to resurrect you. So, it's not all left to me to screw up. And believe me, Hunter, I would have screwed it up. I haven't even been able to trust myself enough to go back to the library and continue my studies. Even knowing Agatha forgives me.
She does forgive, and wants nothing more than for you to reach your full potential. You know that.
Yeah, I guess I do. It's just... I still have a lot of guilt and shame to work through.
Wanda, you should never be ashamed of or feel guilty about your gifts. Let me help you work through your fears and become more comfortable standing in your power.
You would do that for me?
When I am done with you, Wanda, your knowledge of the arcane will surpass even Dr. Spooky himself.
All right, deal. Just don't say I didn't warn you.
Good girl, Charlie.
Status report on the evac.
Hulk tore out the bridges. Roads are gone. No evac happening.
We'll get you additional air support. We can fly people out.
That's a negative. Our orders have changed. We're taking a more aggressive stance to secure the country.
Secure? You mean you're taking on the Hulk?
Roger that. Our squad is moving into position now.
No, I told Fury not to launch an assault on Hulk. They're gonna get slaughtered. Listen, Agent, whatever, this is Tony Stark. You have to call off your assault immediately.
The dark forces within Banner are only growing stronger with time. Those men are doomed.
We're now in attack position. We just don't have a visual on the target. laying down a
I'm
perimeter.
telling you, get out of there!
Wait, there's movement above. It's Hulk! Oh God, no!
No one's safe in Transia.
Did we just hear what I thought we just heard?
I'm going to be replaying that in my head forever.
I don't want to create a self-fulfilling prophecy, but I'm counting that an unnamed green rage demon whose name rhymes with Tulk is itching for a rematch.
Oh, my fault.
I've got a backup plan for Banner. A garden hose filled with holy water. Okay, I don't have that, but jokes get me through the dark times.
Elrod ready to roll.
Events in Transia seem to be deteriorating quickly. The more Transia falls, the greater Lilith and Chthon's power becomes. We cannot risk openly confronting my sister, with the Hulk still under Lilith's thrall.
Of course. I was worried you might forget to bump into me today.
Someone's going to have to notify the families. Rumlow may have redeemed himself. A little. But Hydra still failed to wield the God-Killer successfully. And now, Banner's making up for their failures.
Hopefully Fury is moving Aunt May and MJ to a safe location.
Never had a friend who inadvertently walked into me as often as you do. Somehow it's almost endearing.
Those poor people.
We'd better be extra alert. No telling what Lilith's going to throw at us. But I'm pretty sure it's our former pal, Bruce Banner.
I hate it when people don't listen to me. I hate it even more when people don't listen to me, and good people die because of it.
I assume you were speaking of Nick Fury.
I warned him, Hunter, multiple times. This isn't the Hulk they're used to. This is something more dangerous. Did he listen? No. Did he think he knew better than me? Of course he did.
Do you know how you are going to handle the Hulk?
Sure, we figure out a way to avoid getting smashed into paste long enough for you to save him like you did with Wanda. If that fails, we shoot him off into outer space. But I think everyone's done listening to me right now.
You still have good ideas. They just have not worked out well recently.
Thanks. They say you're only as good as the last time you saved the world. Well, if that's the case, then I've still got a lot to prove. Maybe I should call Reed and see if he's got any bright ideas. Or Xavier. Or even Namor. It has been too long.
The Hulk is more deadly than he has ever been. Do not forget that.
Believe me, I know. But I can't give up. Because more than anything, I just want my friend back. Pepper and Happy are hunkered down, probably drinking the good stuff, eating Brooklyn pizza. To not be a superhero. Must be nice. Anyway, let's go stab your mom with a dagger we found in a Hydra bunker. That sounds safe. And maybe try to go easy on Bruce, for old Tony's sake. They turned me down last time I asked for a tour of NORAD, but I guess this is